Welcome back to the HNT show. We're doing our show this morning at Complete Cyclist Bryanston. As you can see, it's quite a flash store. We've got one of their top-end bikes in the background here. One of the bikes that Dan Martin is actually riding on, except it's a newer version of this one. But this one's still a very nice, very expensive bike. We're going to get started with the show now. The analysis of stage 16. Tony?
Well, once again, we called it. We saw that we had Bling Matthews doing exactly what we thought him and his team would do at the beginning of the stage. We said it was going to be hard. It wasn't going to be just another sprint stage. The guys were caught out a little bit. Bling Matthews boys put it down, put the hammer down, and they deserved the win. It came a close run at the end again. We saw guys hands off handlebars again, Degenkolb getting upset, grabbing Matthews afterwards. We get to know what's going to happen there, if there's going to be some kind of a fine or something imposed. It happened after the line. He felt he was drifted. No, you're just not fast enough, Degenkolb. We saw Bosenhagen up there again.
Yeah.
Comes with a hell of a speed, but comes from 6 bikes back, almost closes on Matthews. You know, guys, get your act together. Let's get in there a little bit quicker. I know it's difficult. It wasn't the nicest of finishes.
No,
tight bends and turns, and I guess you wanted to be into that last bend as close to the front as possible. But yeah, Bosenhagen was definitely caught out. He was sitting a little bit too far back. The points jersey. You know, yesterday we said, yeah, Matthews go out, take the intermediate, take the finish, 70 points. He's going to be 9 points behind. It turns out we didn't have a copy of the race Bible. And in the race Bible, what's the deal, bro? Yesterday at the finish, only 30 points instead of 50 because it wasn't a flat stage.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a low blow from the guys at the tour. You know, at the end of the day, a stage is a stage. Whether you win the stage after a Cat 1 climb down the hill and you sprint to wherever you're sprinting there, you've made the effort. You've put your team on the front. You've done the work that's needed to do to try and win a stage like that, you know. 30 points for a stage win is just not on. I think it's really biased towards pure sprinters, which is fine. But Matthews is just as fast as some of the pure sprinters. In fact, if he really puts his head down, he could probably win a pure sprinting stage. So I think that was unfair, you know, from Matthews' side. I think he would have liked the extra points. It would have brought him a bit closer to Kittel. He's now only 29 points down on Kittel. And I think the race is on now for the points jersey, which is good. It makes it exciting. And Edvald, I think his experience when it comes to sprinting, you know, the pure sprinters, they're aggressive. They don't shy away from a bit of barging and that into the corners, trying to stay on the wheel. Bosenhagen was perfectly placed before we got to that last S-bend. By the time we got out of the last S-bend, he was sitting 6th wheel, like you say, far down on Matthews. There's no way you're going to come from that far back to take Matthews out, you know. He was coming fast. If the line was a bit further, cool. But there's if-buts. You can talk about them forever. You know, at the end of the day, Matthews did the right thing. He got into the corner in the right position, and he won the sprint.
Then we saw the stage yesterday. The wind really started pumping.
Gutters.
And properly. And what happened? We had the gutters. We've explained the gutters to you guys before. Suddenly the gutters, and who gets caught out? Dan Martin gets caught out. Louis Meintjes gets caught out. Dan Martin has a rider with him, but not strong enough to be able to sit the rider's wheel to get back to the front move.
Yeah, I think once again, this really comes down to the prioritizing of the DS and the team director. Lefebvre, I think he's really just trying to butter up Kittel to try and keep him there. Unfortunately, their budget is not as big as one of the other teams in the tour at the moment. We have Katusha from Russia, and rumor has it that they're interested in Kittel. So I'm pretty sure the conversation went something like, "Hey Kittel, we've got lots of money for you. We've got some gold for you also. If you like ladies, we've got lots of beautiful ladies for you. You know, you come to Katusha, you come race here. You know, Alexander Kristoff, he can go play in the Cobbles, he can go cry a little bit. Maybe if he wants, he can go back to Norway, be a Viking. I don't know. But you come to us, we make you happy. You know, we give you money, we give you ladies. You like the team." So, in my opinion, They messed up really yesterday. If they had Vermont in the front there and they had Stabar, those guys are classic specialists. the wind is something that they love. They look for days like this. And they could have really protected Dan Martin in this situation, and they didn't.
Oh, absolutely. We saw Jack Bauer actually
Yes.
get to the front, and he put in such a turn, but he put in such a big turn that Martin couldn't get onto his wheel. The next minute you looked, a guy who's even smaller than Martin pops up on Jack Bauer's wheel, Louis Meintjes.
Yes.
So Louis Meintjes did lose some time yesterday. I think that's pretty much the white jersey done and dusted for him. One or two other guys being caught out, particularly Martin, now makes him a dangerous man.
Yes, so we'll discuss that in our preview for the following stage, which is going to be a big hilly stage. As far as the GC is concerned, there was no major shuffle apart from Dan Martin, who was a dangerous guy. Chris Froome just capitalizing on it. Funny enough, the little Colombian sheep herder, coffee grinder, Quintana managed to make that front split, which is amazing. I mean, the oak weighs 54 kilos odd. And he manages to survive in the gutters. Something that's interesting, Dan Martin, okay, cool, he should have had a team to support him, but at the end of the day, you're the leader. You need to prioritize where you are and what's going on. And yeah, the DS is to blame. There were teammates that could have helped him, but as a rider, you should have been awake to the situation and really made sure that you weren't caught out.
Absolutely, H. He lost a lot of time yesterday. So, we've seen previous stages where he attacks the guys in the last 300 meters to pick up a 5-second, 10-second bonus. Come on, guys, you're going to be a GC rider. You want to be up there challenging for the yellow jersey. These are things that you've got to bear in mind all the time. You've got to know that the wind is going to change direction. I need to position myself up near the front.
Be awake.
Don't go and spend pennies on stage 13, stage 14, chasing seconds, and then you get to the first real stage and you lose a whole chunk of it. Now you've burnt matches.
Yeah, burnt hard matches and lost a lot of time in burning those matches at the same time. GC side, Froome still in yellow. Kittle's in green, but only by 29 points. Matthew's going to be eyeing that green jersey now. Com jersey on Barguil's shoulders. It looks to be secured. I really doubt anybody's going to challenge him for that jersey. He's miles ahead in points. White jersey also secured. With Meintjes losing time yesterday, I doubt seriously that he's going to even challenge Simon in the mountains. So pretty much set.
Meintjes is going to have to be wide awake though, because
Yes.
Meintjes is lying 8th on GC.
Yes.
But he's got two guys behind him. It's a couple of seconds. It's 5 seconds and another
16.
5 seconds. So it's a total of 16 seconds. You've got Caruso chasing him, and you've got Quintana chasing him. So Meintjes has got to be really on his game if he wants to stay there in the top 10 on GC.
Well, there you have it. That was our analysis of stage 16. Stay tuned. We're going to preview stage 17 soon.